So, as many of you guys know, I mainly only talk football on this channel, but I wanted to talk about the NASCAR race that took place at the LA Coliseum. And that was the first full NASCAR race I had watched in probably, I can't even think how long. Like, I used to watch it all the time. Like, it used to be something like when football wasn't on Sundays, or really when the Chiefs weren't playing on Sundays when I was younger, that was really the only thing other than football I would watch on Sundays. So this was the first full race that I probably watched, and I know this race doesn't technically count as anything. It's just kind of like I don't know, best way to describe it for me, probably like a tune-up race. It's just a fun little exhibition race that they put on. And yeah, but I was a fan. I've been a fan of NASCAR for a long time. I think the last full race I watched was the 2019 Daytona 500. I think it was. I can't remember. I think it was Matt DiBenedetto. I can't say his name. I think he was driving the 95 car at the time, and we were all rooting for him so hard. I think he crashed out of that race, but we were rooting so hard for him to win that race and the household I'm at and everything. Like that was a really cool story. That was something we were all rooting for. I know that was a long time ago. That was what, 2019, I think? It was a while ago, but that was the last full race I think that I've watched in years. But I'll be honest, and then, obviously with the whole COVID thing or whatever, like the scheduling with sports and everything was so off at the time, and just no fans and everything else. It just didn't feel right watching sports. It's not like I was boycotting sports. No, that's not what I'm getting at. It just felt weird watching it, and then just, you know, it felt like it was forced, if anything. Like a lot of the sports that started back up during the pandemic kind of felt forced. So I didn't really watch it then, and then I didn't really watch it last year really much at all, because I didn't really like, again, that was last year when the football season started, whatever. That was during the pandemic or whatever. It kind of bled into this year, whatever. That's not the point. But this is the first full race that I've probably watched, like I said, since 2019. I was thoroughly enjoyed by it. Like I've always loved the short track races that NASCAR puts on, like Bristol, Martinsville. Those are definitely two of my favorites that they go to every single year. They're so fun to watch. They're so entertaining. Like they're bumping and everything. Because if I've been to short track races on Saturday nights before in my local community, those are really, really fun to go to. Now those are dirt tracks. These are, paved speedways and everything else. But those were really fun to go to, and this was really, really fun to watch, because I think this was one of the smaller tracks that they had been on for a really, really, really long time. Like what 50 years at least, I think it was, if not more. It was a really, really long time since they had been to a track this small in their top series. Like I love their trucks and I love their Xfinity series, but this is the first full Cup race I'd watched in a while. And I'll be honest, I was thoroughly entertained from, I watched practice that morning before the actual races. It looked like a lot of fun. The heat races were a whole bunch of fun. It was really the beating and banging those guys were going after, them moving each other out of the way. That was a lot of fun to watch. And just the whole short track aspect, putting it in a football stadium where USC plays is just funny to me. Like the amount of crap that Lincoln Riley got on Twitter today, and USC and that whole football organization and the whole program and everything went through because USC plays there, and it literally looked like more people went to a NASCAR race there that was like a temporary makeshift. I wouldn't say makeshift, but it's not a permanent fixture there at the LA Coliseum. There was more people there to watch a NASCAR race than there has been in, it feels like, a long time to watch a USC football game. Like hopefully Lincoln Riley can make USC football relevant again. But that was that was funny. That was really funny to see you like. It was packed too. I'll be honest. Whenever they announced this, I don't remember when I saw this, but when I first saw it, and I'm like, they're going to a huge stadium where they could get exposed to not really having that many people anymore. And I was blown away by how many people went there. There was a lot of people that went to that race at the LA Coliseum. Now, I didn't really watch any of the musical performances by Pitbull, or I think it was Ice Cube there, whoever it was that had a performance. I didn't really listen to any of those because I couldn't care. I did not care whatsoever. But just the actual race itself, and it kind of came down to Joey Logano, who just personally not one of my favorite guys when I was younger to root for, and Kyle Busch, and I know he's polarizing. A lot of people don't like him. I think he's really entertaining to watch, and when he gets upset, his rage. I think it was a Las Vegas race a few years back where he got on, was it Garrett Smithley? He got on to him because he was like, oh, we have guys out here that aren't even winning dirt track races or whatever it was out here running in the top series, stuff like that. Like, you can hate him or like him for his personality. I find him to be thoroughly entertaining. And, those last few laps, I was secretly hoping that Kyle Busch would get on the tail of Joey Logano. And I think my dislike for Joey Logano kind of goes back to that wreck that I think him and Denny Hamlin had back in Auto Club. I think it was 2012, 2013, 2014, I can't remember the exact year. But like that when I was younger kind of took me out of Joey Logano. And then I became a fan of Denny Hamlin, and then it just led to me becoming a fan of Kyle Busch. I find Kyle Busch thoroughly entertaining, a fun guy to watch. And just his post-race interviews, everything he does, it's so entertaining. Like, the guy's expectations for himself are so high that when he like comes in second place like he did, he acts like he finished last and crashed out of the race. He's so entertaining to watch. One of the most entertaining guys to definitely watch. But this race as a whole, the clash at the LA Coliseum, I thought it was thoroughly enjoyable. I think they should definitely do it again. It's unique, it's out of the box. It seems like it got a great reception from everybody. Like, some people thought there should be a little tweaks here and there, but just as a whole production, I think they did a great job. They really did, and that got me really, really hyped. Like, if anything, this race, even though it doesn't count, it kind of got me hyped to watch the NASCAR season as a whole, which I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot, especially with no football. And I'm really sad that there's no football. Thinking that the Super Bowl's next weekend has me really, really sad. But I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on this race, and just, it may come up as a surprise. Somebody like me maybe watches NASCAR, think it's fun, but I think it's a lot of fun. I think, more people should definitely watch it. It's really, really entertaining. It's once you understand it a little bit more than just guys turning left. I mean, even after that, I understand why some people might find it boring. There's just things I've always watched it from when I was younger. I always find it entertaining. Just racing as a whole, like Formula One, finally, like that. I think last year I definitely caught a few races. Though definitely the last race of the Formula One season was thoroughly entertaining for me. So I really, really enjoy racing. And I think just as a whole, the Clash, awesome race. Definitely they need to come back and do this, or go to different smaller tracks, around the country. Because I think SRX, Tony Stewart's thing, they did that last year, and that was another thing that was kind of fun to watch. Not gonna lie, I like racing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge racing fan. I think racing's really fun, really cool. I couldn't tell you a single thing about a car. I can tell you that if I think they're loose, it's hard to handle. If they're tight, they can't turn. I think that's about it. The best I can go in depth in my analysis of what I think of racing and NASCAR is. But anyways, that's my thoughts on the Busch Clash that took place at the LA Coliseum. If this is the first time you somehow caught this, give me your thoughts of what